who is the favorite going into today, at least for the EU region, is going to match up against Spectral Gaming. FlipSid in the last power rankings, the #1 seeded team for EU, going up against the 6th seed Spectral Gaming. So you can see the rosters there. FlipSid with quite a formidable lineup, going up against a Spectral team who just replaced DeKinney with Mystic.
Yeah, so a big roster change on their part. You know, DeKinney's been a part of Spectral for as long as I can remember. I mean, they're not exactly been a team that's been around for years or anything, but, you know, I've been on top of the EU region for some time, so it is a bit surprising that, you know, that's the change that they've made, but it could be good for their future, really seeing what they will ultimately end up doing here. Spectral's one of those teams that can run a little hot and cold, though, so they have a huge task at hand here in week 1 against one of the most threatening teams in Europe, for sure.
Absolutely, and before this tournament, before week 1 of the Pro League, we gave players the opportunity to tell us a little fun fact about themselves. And right here, I don't know if it's cheeky or not, but Cookser's fun fact is that he secretly loves Yemen. So that is not a secret anymore, my friend. So I'm sorry to bring that out, but that was Cookser's fun fact. So we'll see how that plays out, as I don't think Yemen is participating in the Pro League, as he is no longer a member of SK Gaming, but that doesn't mean that they can't talk to each other on the side.
You know, all these players have known each other for a lot longer than the esports scene has been around, than Pro League has been a thing, so I'm sure they might still keep in touch, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know,
Yeah,
I think everybody knows or has a good idea of what the SK situation is. So I think the most important thing right now, though, is this matchup that we are looking at with FlipSid Tactics and Spectral. It's a game that I think a lot of players might think, or a lot of viewers might think, is going to be heavily tilted in favor of FlipSid. But the one thing I've learned over my many, many months of watching FlipSid play is sometimes game 1 can get out of their hands, as they just, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a FlipSid thing. I don't know how really best to explain it. But sometimes they let game 1 get away in some of these series, and that could be the break that Spectral needs to get a win out of this series and really make it interesting. So
absolutely, and it looks like we do have all the players in here in the lobby, so we're going to get this game started. It looks like map 1 is going to be DFH, and oh my goodness, map 2, we're in for quite the show, as one of the teams picked something a little bit unorthodox, and we're going to have to wait and see that. So game 2 is going to be quite a bit of fun.
Something fun.
Oh, and it looks like a little bit of an issue here connecting to the Rocket League servers. So I am going to drop out of this party real quick. Shout, will send me an invite, and we will get this game going. So again, though, map 2, I guess I'll go ahead and spoil it. It is going to be Wasteland. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Shalthus, have you seen, I haven't really seen the European teams play Wasteland. Shalthus, do you copy?
So sorry. Yes, I have seen, you know, the NA teams. There was that ESL monthly final that wound up, you know, being in favor of not and in their game against IBP Cosmic. But no, I haven't seen many European teams, especially not in a tournament setting, you know, playing in that. So
yeah, so we've got map 1, DFH, very tame selection here, but Wasteland, I'm very eager to see teams playing on it with a lot to lose. We saw in the North American Pro Draft that we put on last month, we saw all those top tier players playing on Wasteland, but that was just, a fun tournament. Not a lot on the line here. This is the Rocket League Central Pro League. Every win matters. So to see a team pick Wasteland at this level is going to be quite surprising.
I think it's actually a really good strategy too. It's something that ultimately, especially as as more teams are, or as more maps are added, more of those non-standard maps are added, it's something we're going to see more of. More teams picking these unusual maps. So Wasteland's not that much different anyway. If you're a good enough team, you should be able to hang on Wasteland, I think.
Absolutely. So we are starting it off. This is another 5-game series. Both teams playing 5 full games here. FlipSid versus Spectral, and what is going to be a good show. Spectral going up against the top-rated FlipSid. It's going to be quite a difficult matchup for them, but Crown and Jewels sets the pace at 5 games out of 5.
Yeah, it was a nice early start there for Spectral, who was putting a lot of pressure on net, but FlipSid played that ball forward and got at least one attempt on net out of it. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. But so far, Spectral has spent the most amount of time here putting the ball on net, putting plays together.
Oh, look at that tap by Mike Rules. So that ball was going to bounce a little bit. You can see Markey setting it up for Mike. Mike off the wall to himself, boosts, and it's Cooks here, who just barely hits that with his wheel, who puts that in. So stealing that one from his buddy, but you know that they're laughing about that one on TeamSpeak.
Oh, well, I'm sure Mike is. I don't think Cookster says anything, but it's enough for them to at least get that 1-goal lead off of just a handful of early plays. Typical FlipSid, though, so not a huge surprise there, and a good stop in net by Cookster on that play forward. Now, Spectral, they got to come out swinging. That has to be their strategy. They can't slow down. They have to be relentless.
Oh, man.
It was a good start. It took a while. That ball was starting to, rent a house on that goal line there. Spending enough time there.
Yeah, so you can see Markey tried to get around that ball to dribble it out, not able to do it in time. TJ Shorty comes in and just finishes that one. So a little bit of an awkward situation in front of the net. Not a flashy goal, but like you said before, a goal is a goal. A win is a win. So FlipSid trying to break it out of their corner. And they are quite known for their flashy goals, which I hope to see a lot of today.
They are. They've certainly fallen back a little bit, maybe off of the big, super flashy things, just to get down to the core fundamentals. But they have such excellent teamwork and solo play that there's a reason that they are known as one of the more dominant teams in Europe, if not the most dominant team at this point. So it's very big things to consider.
Now you can see Mystic trying to get a pass into the mid. Cooks here, though, on the wall, trying to pass to his teammates. Mike is waiting, but Mystic gets there and breaks that one up. That ball is on target potentially. No, just missing off to the right, but Remco also missing an opportunity to put it on net.
Yeah, had a really good attempt to at least put pressure on the net. Don't know if it would have been a goal or not because they did have defense in place, but the fact that broke wide just gave him nothing. So, you need to put the shot on net. I know this is very John Madden-like of me right now, but you need to put the shot on net to contest the other team and force them to actually have to react.
Very true. And a lot of times, at least in 1v1s, a good strategy is, even if it's not going to be a guaranteed goal, even if it's going to be a crappy shot, just making them have to force the play and hoping they make a mistake is a good move all around. So you can see here, though, Spectral breaking out of their end, tied up 1-1 here, very even so far. FlipSid Tactics certainly not running away with this one just yet, but gets that stuff for the goal.
Yeah, nice little play here by Mike Rules. He's going to just get on top of this ball for a little bit and gives it. He stays on top of the ball and stays in a position that even where they try to stop it, it runs right back into his car. It gave him the angle he needed, and he could just carry it straight into the net. So not very flashy, not very showboaty, but just good fundamentals. There's a little bit of flash.
So right off the face-off here, you can see Markey and Remco going head-to-head. Cooks here with the redirect,
with that
going all the way back. Yeah, Mystic was trying to get boost, and Cooks here put that one on net really quickly. Mystic not able to recover in time, and now FlipSid starting to extend the lead here.
Yeah, that was a really nice goal off from Cooks here, and a big advantage here for FlipSid here starting off game one. So it seems like they're coming out, with the respect that I think Spectral deserves, with the respect that any Pro League team deserves, as being a formidable opponent in Remco. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Cookser trying to get that ball into a safe spot. Misses the follow-up off the wall, leaving it there for Remco to come in and clean up. So a little bit of a misplay by Cookser, leading to that goal. And now just one goal separating these two teams. And we've got another donation coming in from Softgoat with a $25 donation saying, please, League or Pro League Hype, keep doing what y'all are doing. Thank you, Softgoat. We really appreciate the support to the Rocket League esports scene. You are the man.
Yes, thank you. Donations all super helpful. Like we said last game, prize pool, future RLC tournaments and events, all goes towards competitive Rocket League, which is the reason you're all here.
Absolutely. And Cook's here trying to put on a show for us here on the wall, trying to get this out to the mid. He does get a beautiful pass, a lot of pace on that ball. Markey not able to get there.
Yeah, TJ Shorty got on the good side of it, broke it up. Granted, he had a lot of space to work with, so shot maybe was a little bit off target from where I think Cookser wanted it to be, at least to get to Markey.
Yeah, so good job there breaking that up from Remco, but it does still turn out to be a good pass over to Mizdik. Puts a shot in, blocked by Mike.
Yep, I like the way Spectral's looking. I'm gonna say they're coming into this game looking really strong. You know, win or lose, they're looking very good here. And this is the kind of performance they need, but I think if they don't get the early win, they're going to have a harder time getting wins later in the series. Because once FlipSid finds their rhythm, figures out how they want to approach these games, it gets a lot harder to take a win off of them. Not impossible, but certainly a lot harder for some teams.
Oh, Markey with an opportunity there. Trying to contort his car to get a hit. Is able to get the hit, but not able to get enough juice on it. And FlipSid Tactics takes game one. An expected result, but still the scoreline not incredibly dominant. Spectral Gaming staying in this one very close. And now we're going into Wasteland, which is going to be pretty interesting here. This will be the first time in a real competition, a real high-end competition, that we will see Wasteland coming out. So a little bit of map change hype here, as we'll see this craziness. And those of you who have not played Wasteland, look to see a lot of balls wrapping into the mid. Because of the way that the corners are shaped, there's an abnormally large amount of balls that will get redirected right in front of the net and put a lot of pressure on players who are playing in the goal. So this might be a high-scoring affair, but we'll just have to see how it plays out at the highest level. This is the first time we've really seen something like this.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about Wasteland, you can really see it as you're looking around, is the corners, like you said, they are much more curved than in the regular maps. So they're bigger, they're more curved. The whole wall is curved as well, so that complements the ball's ability to just ride the entire wall around onto the goal. And there's these huge wide open field in the middle of the pitch, obviously, with the slanted sides, so the ball can take some really weird bounces when it comes off. And it might be, you know, those little adjustments to the way the ball bounces could cause some players to misread because they're so used to understanding exactly where the ball's going to wind up. Oh, a big stop there by Remco, though. No scoring yet.
Yeah, so both teams fighting for control here. This is a huge map. Slightly angled. You can see it looks a little bit like a taco. Not as dramatically curved, but yes. That means that the ball is going to bounce in ways that you don't expect. A lot of these players are only used to playing on those older maps, which have much more predictable bounces. This one, much harder to predict what the ball's going to do.
Mm-hmm. You know, or at least flat maps. You know, flat maps are certainly the way that they typically play here. But oh, nice shot, TJ Shorty. Scoring finally opens up. Really nice play here.
Yeah, so you can see Mike tried to make a play there, ends up passing it out into the mid for Shorty, and Shorty makes him pay by just slamming that one into the net. So Mike on the wall, you know, trying to make a play. Maybe it's a little bit of unfamiliarity with the map, and just ended up floating that one right out there for Shorty.
Yeah. Maybe you got Mike thinking about tacos. And that, you can see the ceiling has a little bit of an interesting shape too. So all of these really big curves play out into how the ball reacts here. And oh, another really, really close shot on net. Mystic was putting that up, and here's exactly what you're seeing. Look at the ball. It's just taking its ride around the full perimeter of the field. And we're going to see that a lot. Wall play is big on Wasteland because there's just so much of it.
Yeah, you can see here even the ceiling is much closer on the corners just because you see the wall inching up a little bit. But right now, Spectral Gaming leading the #1 seed FlipSide. I wonder if this will be a strategy employed by other teams. And oh, a shot on net turned aside by Cooks here. But Spectral is the 6th seed here, going up against the #1 and looking to be in a winning position so far.
Yeah, I mean, not only is a win really good for Spectral here, but it's also really good for Crown and Jewels because that means that they're going to, continue to own that #1 spot in the standings, at least for now.
Let's see, Cooks here trying to make something happen here, but the defense of Spectral not letting that ball go in front of the net. As you can see, though, pretty much anywhere off the corner leads to a dangerous bounce. Cooks are trying to air dribble, going for the stuff there.
Yeah, really tried to put something together there. So look at the amount of shots being put toward the net or on the net or near the net by FlipSide Tactics here, and they're just getting shut down constantly.
Oh, and it looks like still just so many post-its, but Cooks here there to finally put one in for FlipSide, who was just putting so much pressure on the net. It was bound to happen. You could see Markey barely missing that one, but Cooks here there to end the drought for FlipSide, getting on the board, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, so I mean that's a great way for FlipSide. Finally, the pressure pays off. They were just putting so many shots on the net that it was inevitable that something was going to go in there. I mean, you can't sit back defensively and just eat all those shots and not let something actually break through. And that's exactly what we saw here.
And we're seeing more donations come in. Thank you so much for that $20 donation. Prize pool, boys. We appreciate it very much. And yes, we are excited to see this prize pool grow as donations come in. So thank you again. And we will be thanking everybody for donations in person, or well, at least over the internet. So in our Discord chat, if you guys want to find more out about that, message our admins in chat, and they'll help you to that. But anyway, back to the action here. We've got a very close game, 1-1 between Spectral Gaming and FlipSide, the first ever Wasteland matchup in the Rocket League Central Pro League, and it is a close one.
Yeah, we are seeing Spectral on the attack right now. They're trying to get the advantage that we talked about that FlipSide had previously in just putting constant pressure on net. Unfortunately, it's not quite the quality of opportunities that FlipSide had, but all it takes is one to get through. And at this point, we're running low on time in this game. One more goal in regulation is certainly going to be enough to tilt it. And you can see FlipSide now. They're trying to get that goal. They don't want overtime.
Absolutely. FlipSide wanting to put as many goals as possible so they can pad their stats for the league in case of a tie. Every goal potentially matters. So FlipSide getting blown up there, Marky Duda.
That was actually
this is a shot on net. Mike Rules turns it aside. Trying to get the clear. He does pass it. This could get redirected in, but Remco, clutch, comes in with that interrupt.
Going overtime, though. Another overtime game.
Yes.
We needed more. But we're going to get it here on Wasteland, so we'll enjoy our time in Wasteland for at least a little bit longer. Ooh. Big whiff on that save attempt, and fortunately for Spectral, it didn't actually go in.
All right, here, so we've got Mizdik trying to play defense here. Does stop the shot, trying to dribble it off to the side. Although Cooks here putting it right back into the mid. Redirect attempt by Mizdik, does pass it over to his teammate in the corner. Remco passing it back into the mid. Cooks here breaking it up.
Wow.
And now he's got a breakaway opportunity. If he can dribble this one in, just goes for the shot. And that one is turned aside by Remco.
Yeah, beautiful back and forth there by Spectral on that play. Really nice teamwork. They just could not completely break past FlipSide, but there, Remco. And that will do it. That gives them a big, big win here.
Yeah, Shorty passes it off the wall, and you can see that just bounces right back into the mid. These walls are ruthless. And Remco takes advantage of that bounce, putting it into the net and winning a game for Spectral. So Spectral is on the board in the Pro League. They've got a win under their belt. This is a series of 5, not a best of 5 here. And we've got the next map coming up, which will be Manfield. And we will not see Wasteland for the rest of this series at least. But good tactical play there for Spectral, taking the win on an unorthodox map.
Yep, I mean, wherever you can get it, that's all that really matters at this point. And that big win is going to be huge for Spectral. A lot of people thought this was going to be a 5-0 set for FlipSid. Not the case. And if they can edge out some more wins here, it could be a really, really advantageous situation for them going forward in this series. Or in this season, I should say.
Yep, so we're tied up 1-1. Spectral FlipSid neck and neck up to this point. Cooks are off the wall, passing to himself, and almost gets that double tap in. It's wide open. Mike not able to put it in. Shorty and Marky both missing that one, going to block each other's hits, and both end up missing. So an exciting start here, but still scoreless.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've yet to really see the FlipSid that I'm used to so far. We're getting glimpses of it here and there, but there's just some judgment calls and some decision making that's happening throughout this game, or at least the series, that isn't quite the FlipSid that I'm used to seeing get so many dominant wins.
Remco with a good flick there, but nobody for Spectral able to take advantage, although Mystic with a big hit here, trying to win that 50-50, but Cookser just taps it out of his way. Shorty not able to stop that clear attempt by Cookser, but Remco ends up keeping it in. Both teams fighting here for possession.
Yep. Very physical play. Good opportunity here for Spectral. Oh, Marky got right underneath it. I like the way the Spectral's playing. Their team game is really nice. And Mystic, the latest addition to the squad, gets on the board. Beautiful shot out of the corner here.
Yep, so Remco with a huge block there that just sets itself up perfectly for Mystic, who hits a pretty insane shot, getting a lot of power on that one. So Mystic coming up huge for Spectral Gaming. Every goal counts in this situation. Mystic replacing DeKinney on the Spectral Gaming side, showing why he is worth that with that amazing goal. So we'll go on board with Mystic from Spectral Gaming here.
Oh, Mike rules.
Oh, Shorty. You could see TJ Shorty struggling on the wall of this goal. Like, let's go and see this. Yeah, you can see him driving on the side of the wall, not being able to do much with it, trying to get the block. A little bit too awkward of a position for him, and Cookser just comes in and makes him pay.
Yeah, I mean, again, just the amount of pressure. There's only so much you can do, especially when you've got such really well-precise on shots being put on net there. Oh, huge mistake on the clear there. Fortunately, Shorty didn't commit too far forward there, so he's able to play this forward. Oh, look at the control. Almost gets it past everybody on FlipSid, but Mike Rule shut it down.
Yep, so a miss there by Cookser, but it does bounce out for Marky, making a play on it. You can see Cookser looking for some boost.
Ooh,
crawling
nice
on the wall, using his spider pig abilities.
Well, the Spider-Man abilities only work so far. A lot of these play forwards getting shut down by Spectral. Pretty nice so far.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm eager to see how long this lasts. It is a tie game right now, but when will the tilt happen? When will fate?
Mike is bumping Cooks here. It looked like there was an opportunity to go for a dribble clear, but Mike just bumps Cooks here. And the ball does not get cleared. Remco misses that. So does Marky Duty. Mike with a critical touch there to break up the play. And Remco, though.
Big demo.
Yeah, stopping the play with that demo.
Really, really wise play on the demo there. I mean, that just shut down any offensive chance FlipSid had, and Spectral was able to turn it around, at least for now. So, good start.
Yep, still tied up 1-1 here. FlipSid's Marky, a little bit of... We are on EU and we are on NA and they are EU, so there's a little bit of lag there occasionally. Marky does get the clear though. Mike with the demo and goes for the stuff, not able to get it, so FlipSid having to play a little bit of defense here though. Cooks here does get a good clear chance, but Mystic coming up huge with a pass into the mid, but nobody from Spectral Gaming was there to take advantage of that pass from Mystic into the mid.
Yeah, TJ Shorty was in a relatively decent position, but I wasn't tracking him the entire time, so I didn't know if he had the timing or the boost to react to that. But look at just the amount of plays that are being put on. Like I said, the quality of the offensive chances isn't quite what it should be. Well, that was a very good one, though. Really nice shot on net by Remco. But just the amount the amount of time that Spectral is forcing FlipSid to spend on defense is key here.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh no, Mystic running into his teammate a couple times there. Him and Shorty butting heads. Good bounce into the mid for Mystic, but Cooksier does break that up. A clutch hit there from Cooksier. If that one would have snuck through, Mystic had that covered.
That was a big chance on net for Markey that did get disrupted. And again, Mystic, good break around FlipSid. We're running low on time. We might get another overtime game here.
Yes, every single matchup so far has had at least a couple overtime games. So seeing that trend continue here.
As far as I'm concerned, if every series in Pro League has at least one overtime game, then the process works. You know, that means we did this thing right by getting the best teams in the world that all can match up to one another, and we're not going to have any heavy tilt situations. Despite what we saw with Supersonic Avengers, I don't think they're going to be completely shut out. And well, here we go. Overtime number 2 in this series. And could be a big chance for Spectral if they can pull this out.
Cooksier with his shot on net. Mystic does make the save off of the wall and is trying to get this second hit. Remco and Mystic both going for it. 2 players out. So a little bit of disarray here for Spectral. They're trying to recover. Good clear there from Mystic. But still Mike putting on the pressure here as FlipSid tries to take this overtime win. The last overtime game on Wasteland went the way of Spectral, so FlipSid trying to flip the script.
Yeah, they would definitely like to avoid going down in this series. And look at this beautiful wall shot by Mystic. It does get turned aside by Cooksier. Good pressure, though. It was a lot of the FlipSid show for a while here, but Spectral looks like they're finally starting to turn this back around here.
Yeah, Spectral, very surprising, keeping this very close with FlipSid. FlipSid needing this one very badly, not wanting to give up any games. They're probably going to... Oh, Mike saving the game right there.
Undoubtedly.
For FlipSid.
I mean, this is a very exciting set of overtime games here. Oh, huge stop there by TJ Shorty. Another really wide open shot on net that was just denied at the last moment. That
pass to the mid, Markey was not in the position to take advantage of it. He wasn't able to get a lot on it, but still the ball continuing to stay in Spectral zone. But a big clutch clear there by Mystic relieves a lot of pressure here. As Remco, though, misses off the wall. He's going to be out of the play for just a moment. And now Mike has an opportunity to pass over to Markey for the shot. Markey does get it, but that is blocked at half.
Yep, really nice contest, getting himself in front of the ball. Just causing these shots to not be as wide open as some teams would allow them to be. So Spectral looking very good here. Oh, and here's a big chance for Spectral.
Markey, though, breaking that play up. Doing a good job of dribbling that off to the side. But Markey and Mike both going for that ball. A win here could be devastating for FlipSid. Mystic putting on the pressure, but this will be an easy clear for Cooksier, who passes it over to Mike, who puts a shot on net, but it's just a floater. Remco knocks it aside.
Yeah, that could have gone in. I mean, even when they're slow floating shots, sometimes if they get just the right amount of height and the reaction time is too slow, but there, Mike rules.
There we have it. Yeah, the overtime goal. Mystic not getting the hit there, and the ball just drops right down to Mike, who hits it off the bounce, which is the best way to hit it, to get pace on the ball, and he puts that one in. FlipSid Tactics taking Game 3. They will be up 2-1 in this 5-game series. The next map that we have up is Beckwith Night. So that will be a good night map. Everybody loves those night maps. So these teams readying up, but FlipSid not as dominant as you would expect, although Cooksier did have 8 shots on net. Not able to make very many go in, but still very impressive.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's all about putting that pressure on. Sometimes if you're just constantly, if you're relentless with it, if your whole team is just relentless with it, stuff's going to go in. Well, nobody goes in on the kickoff for FlipSid there. But fortunately, they didn't all just leave the net abandoned, which sometimes I have seen happen far too many times.
Oh, and a quick goal there. You can see what happened. TJ Shorty gets the block. Mystic passes it off the wall and goes for the double tap. Falls right down, though, for Remco. FlipSid probably expecting Mystic to hit that one. Remco there, ready for that one to fall through right into his hands.
Yep, another big kickoff mistake there. Whiffed on that attempt. Gave the shot to Spectral. And I think Spectral, they're trying to come out swinging a little bit here. Show their aggressiveness. Open up with a few quick goals, which might force FlipSid to kind of play a little bit on the back foot if they can manage to get one more goal here relatively quick. I know I'd like to see it. Just, you know, we see the FlipSid show so much that you always like to see a team that can try and get in there and make things interesting. You know, so many people were like, oh, this is going to be a 5-0 win for FlipSid, and we already know that's not going to be the case. But
absolutely. FlipSid, though, does tie it up 1-1.
Mistakes like that.
Yeah, you can see Markey gets it past Mystic. Mystic needed to get that hit. He was the last player back. Remco speeding back, but not able to get there in time as Markey just taps that one in easily, tying it up.
Yeah, big tying goal there. Took advantage of a huge gap in the defense. Nobody back there to stop it. Remco tried his dangdest, but it wasn't going to work.
Oh my goodness, that ball almost bouncing into the net. A huge pit maneuver there, knocking TJ Shorty away so he can't get the big clear. Mike Rules fighting in the corner, trying to get this out into the mid, but a little bit of a pinch sends that ball jettisoned out to the mid. Cooksier not able to handle it.
Good shot by Mystic, though. It breaks a little far to the left, but he did have a clear net to make that if he only had the better angle.
So Shorty trying to pass it off the wall into the mid. Mike, though, with a solid clear. Mystic misses yet again off the wall. This might result in another goal, but fortunately for Spectral, TJ Shorty comes up with a huge save, but that's the second time that Mystic has missed a clear denial off the wall, leaving their net open, so he will have to make sure he stops doing that. Otherwise, FlipSid might get another easy goal.
Yeah, they're going to need to work on that defensive positioning a little bit, at least on his part, just to make sure that he is tracking those balls a little bit better, but big shot by Cooksier.
Yeah, so we'll see how this play develops. You can see Cooksier off the wall. Mystic, again, misses that, and the second hit as well, leaving it right there for Cooksier. So Mystic struggling a little bit here on that mistake, leading to another goal for FlipSid as they take the lead 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, those are just mistakes that really can't happen, especially not a shot like that we just saw here. Off kickoff. Quick clash. Mystic again whiffs on that. So he's having a little bit of trouble right now. He got some pretty nice plays out of that last game and during Wasteland, but here some of his play choices and his reactions are just not where they need to be.
Yeah, he has had some pretty high-flying, impressive plays, but on the defensive side right now, struggling at almost that one getting through. So FlipSid taking advantage of mistakes by the other team, which is critical for winning games. If you don't make them pay for those, then other teams start, not thinking that they're too much of a threat. But fortunately, FlipSid has the ability to put those ones away easily, and they are up 3-1 now.
Up here comes Markey trying to dribble this ball forward. Really nice ball control, but it gets pretty tricky when you've got all three members of the opposing team fighting you for that ball.
Yep, another bounce into the mid. Remco does make contact on that one. And Cooksier trying to deal with this one in the side, and Markey accidentally bouncing that one into the mid. Fortunately, Mike able to hit that one out. An easy bounce there, but unfortunately, TJ Shorty not able to get that on net. Mystic, though, off the wall, does get a pass out into the mid. Remco does finally get the goal. We have one goal separating, but you can see Mike trying to get this one out to the side. Markey needed to get his stuff here, decides to go for the corner play instead, and ends up not being able to help out with that play. Remco does put it in, so a block opportunity, but Markey did not expect that play to come right back into the mid so quickly. And now Spectral Gaming is right back into it.
Yeah, that is a huge goal. Great reaction by Remco, taking advantage of the situation. Definitely some defensive lapses on the part of FlipSid, but that's really what this game is about. When you reach a certain level of skill, it's less about outplaying your opponent and more about just taking advantage of the few little mistakes that they make and being able to punish those, and that's what Spectral did on that play.
Markey trying to pick up some full boost for a big clear here, though. Mike does get a good hit off the wall, but that will bounce out into the mid. Remco with a little bit of an assist there, but Markey trying to get this clear.
Yeah, I think that was just Spectral trying to get the ball into a good position so they could go fall back and reboost, because nobody was up to potentially follow up that play.
Oh, a beautiful pass by Cooks here, but a little too much heat on that one. Nobody from FlipSide ready to take advantage of it, but still the ball in the offensive zone of Spectral. Although they are breaking out, this is an opportunity, potentially.
Oh, such a tight angle, and nobody was able to react to it. Now Markey trying to break through. It's getting really tight for Spectral, but they're getting so many good opportunities to do something with this here. But time, man, the time is going to get them.
Yes, Shorty trying to put this one in, but Markey denies that clear. Both teams battling right now for possession. A lot of ping-ponging back and forth. Spectral Gaming needing to make something happen. Only 10 seconds left. They need to break out, but FlipSide all grouped up right now. A big hit needed from Mystic. He does get it into the mid, but Mike breaks up the play. And that's going to be it. FlipSide takes game
still
4.
Up, though. Play forward.
Oh, I jinxed him. Almost jinxed him.
Very tight play there. But yeah, that will be a nod for FlipSide there. So they're going to get that one.
Yep, so we've got FlipSide going up 3-1 in this 5-game series. The last map of these two will be Urban Day.
Indeed it will.
So we'll get that lined up. But FlipSide right now did drop 1 game to Spectral. Spectral is on the board, which is, you got to be at least happy about that you're able to take 1 game at least off the top seeded team in EU. FlipSide Tactics dominant pretty much throughout the history of the Rocket League scene in EU. So Spectral, though, putting up a very courageous fight and very respectable performance so far.
Yeah, absolutely was. I mean, the showing that they played out here was just really superb. You know, they clearly came in fighting tooth and nail. I mean, this was a fight that I wasn't sure what to expect out of here. I think my prediction for the series was going to be 4-1 because of, the FlipSide's notorious Game 1 syndrome. And it looks like we could end up getting that result, but maybe Spectral could eke out another win here. That wouldn't surprise me, based off what we've seen so far. The pressure they've been putting on net, the offensive chances they've been having, really just all looking very good as long as they can manage to squeak it by.
Oh, Shorty with a clutch dribble there, getting that one into the net. You can see Remco trying to be there for an assist, but Shorty just takes it himself with the air dribble redirect. A little bit unnecessary as Remco smacked Cookser out of the way. That one just getting driven in there by Shorty as Spectral goes up 1-0 in this last game of this 5-game series between FlipSide and Spectral.
Yeah, I mean, just that early goal going to pay off a lot. It was really solid ball control, opening up with the scoring, and just they want to try to keep that up. And we're seeing it now. They're just trying to keep the pressure on, prevent FlipSide from clearing it out, force them to play defensively, and it's looking very good for Spectral right now. I mean, they're not going to take the majority of the games in this set, but what they are going to do is really establish themselves as a threat in this Pro League. They came in as a lower seed, or one of the lower seeded teams, but they are clearly going to come out very dangerous, especially against teams that aren't FlipSide Tactics.
Yes, Spectral, great performance against the top-ranked team. As we said before, but we will cover again, each one of the regions has 7 teams in the region. The top 4 teams, the 4 teams who have the best record, will secure a spot in the playoffs. So every game counts. And you can see here Spectral fighting for this second game in this 5-game series. Shorty off the wall, trying to get that pass into the mid. Mystic does get up in time. Not able to get a lot on it on net. But still, Spectral putting on the pressure against this FlipSide squad.
Yeah, and that's really impressive. I was not expecting this sort of performance out of Spectral. And maybe, wow, nice reaction by Mystic. Just look at this goal. Played high off the wall. Markey Duda tries to turn to the side. Mike Rule tries to get the clear, but Mystic cuts off the pass. Cooksier has to try and react, and he cannot reach it in time. Big lead now for Spectral, 2-0.
Yep, still a little bit more than half the game left. A missed clear opportunity on the wall there, leaving Mike Rules trying to get that out. Isn't able to get much on the ball. So good clear was needed off the wall. Unfortunately, FlipSid Tactics not able to get it. And they're down here 2-0, but still plenty of time left for them to start clawing their way back. Remco trying to pass that one into the mid. 2 players up for Spectral.
Ooh.
That could have been bad.
Yeah, really good contest by Marky Duda. Just managed to get behind that ball and shut that down. And finally, FlipSid looks like they're trying to actually get an attack going.
Yeah, you can see Marky a little hesitant there to come in and hit that ball. TJ Shorty does get a little pinch there, sending it out into FlipSide zone, but the counterattack is on. Mike needing to get a good block. And oh no, this is a bad situation here for FlipSide. Although Mike does bail them out, and it turns into a goal. A little bit of assistance from the other team, but Mike coming up clutch here, able to redirect that ball and just tap that right around Shorty. Remco not in position to get back and hit that one aside, so Mike Rule deserves all the credit for that one.
Definitely. He tried to make some kind of reaction there, did Remco, and the ball was just moving far too fast, and no matter how he hit it, it was clearly going to go in the net. So good play by Mike Rules to finally get FlipSid on the board here in this last game. But it's enough for Spectral, and I think that, you know, still having the advantage right now, the game is winding down, time is on their side. They got to keep the pressure going up, obviously, because as soon as you allow FlipSid to start applying pressure to the net, that is where they shine. You know, they are notorious for that being that late game, high scoring team, and we've seen it constantly.
Yep, so pass from Cooks here over to Mike. Markey trying to flip out of the way. Mizdik does tap this one aside, but FlipSid in a good position to make something happen. Markey does put a shot on net. A redirect opportunity for Cooks here, decides to opt for the pass. Markey, though, not able to get to it. Mizdik with a clutch break up there, getting that out of the danger zone.
Yep. Really solid clear there. Mystic looking a lot better than he did the previous game. Maybe just had one of those off games where everything that could go wrong just did go wrong. So things happen, but so far so good.
Yep, we can see Mike Rules falling back into the net, looking for an opportunity to score. Cooks here trying to get a set, though. Mizdik coming up with a big hit, and then the clear by TJ Shorty. Spectral doing a good job of, when the ball's getting in their zone, getting big, effective clears, not just clearing it right to the other team, which you do see happen quite a bit. Good clears against top-level teams are very difficult to accomplish.
Yeah, especially against a team like FlipSid. Their strategy has been for a very long time to put that 3-forward aggressive style into play, and they spread out to shut down those clearing lanes. But Spectral's doing a great job of making those happen.
Yeah, and it looks like unless something happens, nope, that is going to be it. Spectral takes it. It's 3-2. Spectral coming through with a huge win against the favorite FlipSid Tactics. So a very good performance. They're going to be very happy about that one. Really an unexpected result there for FlipSid and Spectral. I really thought FlipSid was going to come out stronger, but Spectral Gaming doing a good job of taking 2 games away from the #1 team.
Yeah, that's big. I said I expected one game just because of, you know, how I know that Spectral plays and what I expect out of FlipSid, but I certainly did not expect that kind of performance. I mean, even all throughout that series, nothing was super lopsided. Nothing was just dominated by either team. And really, it was just an excellent showing all around. So
yeah, not a ton of flashy plays out of FlipSid there, just getting their bearings a little bit. That Wasteland game was pretty exciting. You saw that with the winning goal just bouncing ruthlessly off the corner right to Remco, who put that one away. But very impressive performance from Spectral. Even though they did not win the whole series, this is a long run. Every team having to play every other team in their region. So 6 matchups altogether, and taking 2 games off FlipSid is going to be very important for a team like Spectral, who is, you know, not necessarily the favorite in the season, So every game being very, very important. And, you know, when you look at the strength of schedule, they were probably pretty intimidated by this first matchup, but coming out strong, taking 2 games out of 5, they have to be happy about that. So next up today, we've got my XMG